Listen carefully. Life is not going to become easier because you wish it would. The storm will come, the pressure will rise, people will disappoint you, plans will fail, doors will close. The real question is not, will life challenge me? The real question is, will my mind be strong enough to face it? Because every battle is fought twice, first in your mind, then in your reality. If your mind breaks, everything else follows. But if your mind stands, nothing can truly defeat you. Today is the day you stop asking life for fewer problems and start building a stronger mind. Every successful person has scars that nobody sees. They've cried, they've failed, they've questioned themselves, but they kept moving, not because life was fair, because they trained themselves to think differently. Your greatest weapon is not your talent, it is not your money, it is not your connections, it is your mindset. A disciplined mind can survive what an undisciplined mind calls impossible. The strongest people are not those who never struggle. They are the ones who refuse to surrender when struggle arrives. Every challenge carries a lesson. Every setback carries a purpose. Every difficult season is preparing you for responsibilities your current version could never handle. Feelings change. One day you wake up feeling unstoppable. You believe in yourself. You believe your future is bright. You believe nothing can stand in your way. Then the next day, one conversation changes everything. One failure shakes your confidence. One disappointment fills your mind with doubt. One unexpected problem makes you question whether you're strong enough to keep going. That's the nature of emotions. They rise. They fall. They are powerful. But they were never meant to become the leader of your life. If you allow your emotions to control your decisions, your life will always move in circles. You will start when you feel excited. You will quit when you feel discouraged. You will dream when you're inspired. You will surrender when you're tired. That is not how greatness is built. Greatness is built by people who learn to lead their emotions instead of following them. Every successful person has experienced fear. Every courageous person has felt uncertainty. Every strong person has carried pain. The difference is not that they never felt those emotions. The difference is that they refuse to let those emotions make their decisions. Train yourself to pause. Not every feeling deserves a reaction. Not every negative thought deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your energy. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is remain silent. Sometimes the strongest response is patience. Train yourself to breathe. When pressure rises, breathe. When people misunderstand you, breathe. When life becomes overwhelming, breathe. A calm mind sees opportunities that a panicked mind will never notice. Your greatest victories will often come after your greatest moments of self-control. Train yourself to respond instead of react. Reaction is automatic, resent is intentional. Reaction is driven by emotion. Resent is guided by wisdom. Anyone can react. Very few people have the discipline to stop, think, and choose the right response. That discipline changes everything. Fear will visit your life. It always does. Fear will whisper that you're not ready. Fear will tell you to stay comfortable. Fear will convince you that failure is waiting for you on the other side of every opportunity. But fear is not a prophet. Fear does not know your future. Fear only knows how to protect your comfort. If you listen to fear long enough, you will build a prison with your own thoughts. Doubt will also speak. It will ask questions that have no answers. What if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if people laugh at you? What if everything falls apart? But ask yourself another question. What if you succeed? What if this challenge changes your life? What if this struggle becomes your greatest testimony? What if everything you've been through has been preparing you for this very moment? You cannot silence every voice around you, but you can choose which voice you obey. Pain will tell you it's over. Pain has a powerful voice. It tells you to quit. It tells you that you've carried enough. It tells you that the journey is too difficult. But pain is temporary. Growth lasts. Character lasts. Wisdom lasts. The lessons you learn in your hardest seasons become the strength you carry into your greatest victories. Never mistake a painful season for a permanent life. Storms do not last forever. Night never defeats the sunrise. Winter never cancels spring. Everything changes. And so will your situation, but your purpose tells you to keep walking. Purpose reminds you why you started. Purpose reminds you that your struggle has meaning. Purpose reminds you that someone somewhere will one day be inspired because you refuse to quit. Your purpose is bigger than your comfort. It is bigger than your excuses. It is bigger than your fear. Protect that purpose. Feed it every day. Remind yourself who you are becoming. Strength is not pretending nothing hurts. Real strength admits the pain. Real strength acknowledges the struggle. Real strength says, yes, this is difficult, but I refuse to let this difficulty define me. Being strong doesn't mean you never cry. It doesn't mean you never feel tired. It doesn't mean you never question yourself. Being strong means you keep moving even when your heart feels heavy. It means you keep believing when evidence is limited. It means you keep showing up when nobody applauds your effort. Strength is moving forward even when everything hurts. One step, then another, then another. You don't have to see the entire path. You only need enough courage to take the next step. Champions understand this. They don't wait until every fear disappears. They don't wait until every obstacle is removed. They don't wait until life becomes easy. Because if they waited for perfect conditions, they would never move. Champions move anyway. They work anyway. They learn anyway. They forgive anyway. They believe anyway. Again and again, they fall, they rise, they stumble, they stand, they lose, they learn. Again and again. That is how resilience is built, not in comfort, not in applause, but in the quiet moments when nobody is watching, when quitting seems easier, when giving up feels reasonable, when every emotion tells them to stop, yet they choose to continue. That choice transforms ordinary people into extraordinary examples. Remember this. Your emotions are real, but they are not always right. Your feelings are temporary. Your character is lasting. Your circumstances may change tomorrow, but the strength you build today will stay with you for the rest of your life. So master your emotions before they master you. Guard your thoughts, protect your peace, strengthen your mind every single day, because the person who learns to control their mind becomes the person no challenge can control. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? That question has trapped more dreams than failure ever could. The moment something goes wrong, the human mind searches for someone to blame. We blame people, we blame circumstances, we blame bad luck. Sometimes we even blame ourselves so harshly that we begin to believe we were never meant for greatness. But what if you're asking the wrong question? What if the challenge standing in front of you is not there to destroy your future? What if it is there to build it? Start asking, what is this teaching me? That single question changes everything. It transforms pain into wisdom. It transforms failure into experience. It transforms disappointment into preparation. The challenge may not disappear overnight, but your perspective will change immediately. And when your perspective changes, your life begins to change. Every obstacle is a classroom. Every setback is a lesson waiting to be understood. Every delay is an opportunity to develop patience. Every rejection is a chance to discover a stronger version of yourself. Life is always teaching. The question is whether you're willing to become a student. Some people experience hardship and become bitter. Others experience the same hardship and become better. The difference is never the problem. The difference is the mindset they bring into the problem. Every disappointment is preparation. Think about every closed door you've ever faced. At the time, it felt unfair. It felt painful. It felt like everything you hoped for had slipped away. But look back. How many of those disappointments protected you from something you couldn't see? How many of those delays redirected you towards something greater? How many failures taught you lessons that success never could? Sometimes life closes one door because you're meant to walk toward another. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually redirection. Sometimes losing something is the only way to make room for something better. Pressure is not your enemy. Pressure is your teacher. Pressure strips away excuses. Pressure exposes weaknesses that comfort allows you to ignore. Pressure forces you to grow beyond the limits you once accepted. When everything is easy, anyone can smile. Anyone can stay positive. Anyone can say they have faith. But pressure reveals the truth. Pressure reveals your habits. Pressure reveals your discipline. Pressure reveals your character. Pressure reveals whether your confidence depends on circumstances or conviction. That is why difficult seasons matter. They reveal the foundation you've built your life upon. Gold is purified by fire. It does not become valuable by avoiding the flames. It becomes valuable because it survives them. The fire removes what does not belong. The fire reveals its true worth. Your struggles are doing something similar. They are burning away fear. They are burning away pride. They are burning away weakness, not to harm you, to strengthen you. Diamonds created it under pressure. For years, they remain hidden beneath the surface. Darkness surrounds them. Weld presses against them. Pressure never stops. Yet it is that very pressure that transforms ordinary carbon into something extraordinary. Imagine if the diamond could speak. It might complain about the darkness. It might question the pressure. It might wonder why life feels so heavy, not realizing that everything happening to it is part of its transformation. Sometimes you're living inside a process you don't yet understand. Don't mistake the process for the destination. Great people are built through difficult seasons. History is filled with people who faced impossible odds. They lost opportunities. They experienced rejection. They endured criticism. They made mistakes. They faced loneliness. Yet they refused to surrender, not because they were fearless, but because they understood that hardship was shaping them into someone stronger. Your difficult season is not evidence that you've failed. It may be evidence that you're growing. Growth rarely feels comfortable. Growth stretches you. Growth demands sacrifice. Growth asks you to let go of old habits and embrace new disciplines. That process is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Nothing valuable grows inside comfort. Comfort feels safe. Comfort feels familiar. Comfort asks nothing from you, but comfort can quietly become your greatest limitation. Inside comfort, dreams remain dreams, potential remains potential, purpose remains undiscovered. Comfort whispers, stay where you are. Greatness whispers, take one more step. Comfort convinces people that tomorrow is always available. Purpose reminds you that today matters. Comfort creates excuses. Excuses sound reasonable. I'm too tired. I'll start next week. I'm waiting for the perfect opportunity. I'm waiting until I feel confident. I'm waiting until life becomes easier. But life rewards action, not excuses. Every excuse you accept becomes another brick in the wall between you and your potential. Break that cycle. Stop negotiating with your fears. Stop making peace with procrastination. Decide that today is the day you move forward. Challenges create character. Character cannot be purchased. It cannot be borrowed. It cannot be inherited. It must be earned. It is earned every time you choose integrity when dishonesty seems easier. It is earned every time you remain faithful when quitting feels tempting. It is earned every time you stand back up after life has knocked you down. Character is built one decision at a time, one sacrifice at a time, one difficult day at a time. That is why your current struggle matters. It is shaping the person you are becoming. When life tests you, don't complain. Complaining changes nothing. Complaining drains your energy. Complaining keeps your attention fixed on the problem instead of the solution. Instead, pause. Observe, ask yourself, what can I learn here? Every challenge contains a lesson. Every mistake contains wisdom. Every difficult conversation teaches communication. Every failure teaches resilience. Every loss teaches gratitude. If you choose to learn, nothing you experience is ever wasted. Learn from your victories, learn from your defeats, learn from your critics, learn from your supporters, learn from your mistakes, learn from your successes. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. Remain teachable, remain humble, remain willing to improve. Growth is a daily decision. It is not one giant leap. It is one disciplined choice after another. Ride when others scroll. Practice when others procrastinate. Pray when others panic. Prepare when others complain. Keep growing even when nobody notices, because one day everyone will notice what years of growth have produced. Become someone the challenge can no longer intimidate. Imagine facing the same obstacle a year from now, not as the person you are today, but as someone wiser. Stronger, calmer, more disciplined, more faithful. Would that challenge still have the same power over you? Probably not, because the challenge hasn't changed. You have. That is the goal, not to eliminate every obstacle, but to become so mentally strong that obstacles lose their power to control you. Every difficult season is an invitation to become someone greater. Accept that invitation. Walk through the fire. Carry the weight. Fox the uncertainty. Keep your faith alive. Keep your discipline strong. Keep your purpose in front of you. Because every battle you survive becomes proof that you can survive the next one. Every scar becomes evidence of resilience. Every setback becomes a chapter in your testimony. Every victory over fear becomes another reason to believe in yourself. One challenge prepares you for the next. One lesson prepares you for greater responsibility. One season prepares you for another. And before you realize it, you'll look back at the person you used to be and smile. Not because life became easier, but because every challenge trained you into someone life could no longer break. Motivation is powerful. There is no denying that. It can make you feel unstoppable. It fills your heart with excitement. It gives you the courage to dream bigger than you ever have before. It convinces you that this time will be different. This time you'll stay committed. This time you'll finish what you started. But here's the truth that most people never want to hear. Motivation doesn't stay forever. It comes like the wind. Some days it blows with incredible force. Other days it disappears without warning. If your future depends on feeling motivated every morning, your future will always remain uncertain, because life is not designed to make you feel inspired every single day. There will be mornings when your alarm rings and every part of you wants to stay in bed. There will be days when your progress feels invisible. Days when your hard work seems unnoticed. Days when you question whether any of your effort is making a difference. Some mornings you won't feel inspired. You'll wake up tired. Your mind will remind you of yesterday's failures. Your body will ask for comfort. Your emotions will tell you to wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow will sound easier. Tomorrow will seem more convenient. Tomorrow will promise a better mood. But tomorrow has stolen more dreams than yesterday ever did. The people who keep delaying their purpose are not waiting for the perfect day. They're for a day that never comes. Some nights you'll want to give up. You'll replay every mistake. You'll compare yourself to people who seem farther ahead. You'll wonder if you're wasting your time. You'll wonder if all the sacrifice is worth it. You'll wonder if you're truly capable. These moments happen to everyone. Every successful person has experienced nights filled with doubt. Every champion has questioned themselves. Every leader has faced moments of uncertainty. The difference is not that they avoided those moments. The difference is what they chose to do during them. That's when discipline takes over. Discipline becomes the bridge between who you are today and who you are becoming. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It reminds you of who you said you wanted to become. Discipline is the quiet voice that speaks when motivation has gone silent. It says, get up anyway, even when you're tired, even when yesterday didn't go your way. Even when progress feels painfully slow. Get up anyway, because every sunrise gives you another opportunity to become stronger than you were the day before. Work anyway, not because it's easy, not because people are watching, not because applause is guaranteed. Work because your future deserves today's effort. Work because every hour invested today becomes part of tomorrow's success. Work because consistency creates opportunities that excuses never will. Pray anyway, when your heart is heavy, when answers haven't arrived, when the path ahead feels uncertain. Pray anyway. Faith grows strongest when circumstances are weakest. Prayer reminds you that your strength is not limited to what you can see. It reminds you that hope is a decision. It reminds you that even during difficult seasons, your purpose remains alive. Keep your promises anyway, especially the promises you made to yourself. Too many people break commitments to themselves while expecting the world to trust them. If you tell yourself you'll wake up early, do it. If you promise yourself you'll learn a new skill, do it. If you commit to becoming healthier, stay committed. Every promise you keep builds confidence. Every promise you break weakens trust in yourself. Your word should matter, even when the only person listening is you. The people who achieve greatness are rarely the most gifted. Talent is valuable. Intelligence is valuable. Natural ability is valuable. But none of those qualities can replace consistency. History has shown us countless examples of talented people who wasted extraordinary potential because they lacked discipline. Talent may open the first door. Discipline keeps every other door open. The person who keeps improving every single day will eventually surpass the person who depends only on natural ability. Because discipline compounds, one day of effort may seem small, 1 week may not look impressive, 1 month may not change your life. But years of disciplined action transform ordinary people into extraordinary examples. They're simply the most consistent. Consistency is not glamorous. It is often quiet. It is repetitive. It requires patience. It asks you to keep moving even when results are invisible. Consistency means showing up on the days you don't feel like showing up. It means choosing your purpose over your comfort. Again and again and again. That is where real transformation happens. They keep showing up when success is nowhere in sight, when failure feels close, when nobody expects them to continue. They keep showing up because they understand that every day matters, every choice matters, every habit matters. One missed day may seem harmless, but repeated excuses slowly become repeated failures. Show up, not once, not occasionally. Show up every chance you get. When nobody is watching, true character is revealed in private. Anyone can perform when there's an audience. Anyone can work hard when recognition is guaranteed. But discipline grows in the unseen moments. It grows during early mornings. Late nights, quiet sacrifices, invisible effort, the work nobody applauds often becomes the work that changes everything. When nobody is clapping, don't become dependent on praise. Applause is temporary. Character is permanent. If you only work for recognition, you'll quit the moment recognition disappears. Work because excellence is your standard. Work because your purpose deserves your best. Work because you refuse to settle for less than your potential. When nobody believes, some people will doubt your vision. Some will misunderstand your journey. Some will laugh at your dreams. Some will tell you it's impossible. Let them. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You need the courage to believe in yourself. The greatest victories often begin with quiet faith before they become public success. Small actions. People often underestimate small actions because they expect immediate results. They want dramatic change overnight. But life rarely works that way. Success is usually built through ordinary decisions repeated consistently. Reading 1 chapter, completing 1 workout, learning 1 lesson, saving $1, making 1 better choice. Small actions may look insignificant today, but never underestimate the power of repeated effort, repeated daily. The secret isn't doing something incredible once. The secret is doing the right things over and over again, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Discipline is not about perfection. It is about persistence. You may stumble. You may have setbacks. You may experience difficult seasons. But keep returning to the habits that move your life forward. Consistency always defeats intensity that doesn't last. Become extraordinary results. People often admire success without understanding the process behind it. They see the achievement. They don't see the years of preparation. They celebrate the victory. They don't witness the countless sacrifices. Extraordinary results are never accidental. They are earned through thousands of ordinary moments. Moments when you chose discipline instead of comfort. Moments when you chose faith instead of fear. Moments when you chose action instead of excuses. One decision. Every great life changes because of decisions, not luck, not coincidence. One decision to stop quitting, one decision to forgive, one decision to grow, one decision to remain faithful. One courageous choice can redirect your entire future. One habit. Your habits shape your destiny. They shape your mindset, your health, your relationships, your character. If you improve your daily habits, you improve your daily life. And when your daily life improves, your future begins to change, one disciplined day at a time. Don't become overwhelmed by thinking about the next 10 years. Win today, honor today's responsibilities, finish today's work, protect today's peace, strengthen today's mind, trust today's process. Because every disciplined day becomes another brick in the foundation of an extraordinary life. And one day, people will call you successful. They'll call you resilient. They'll call you unstoppable. They'll wonder how you achieved so much. They won't realize that your greatest secret was never endless motivation. It was the quiet decision to stay disciplined long after motivation disappeared. Not every closed door is rejection. Sometimes it's protection. Sometimes the opportunity you desperately wanted is not the opportunity you truly needed. Sometimes the answer you prayed for is delayed because something greater is being prepared beyond your current understanding. We often measure life by what we receive. But wisdom teaches us to also value what we were protected from. There are doors you wanted to walk through that would have led you into places you were never meant to stay. There are relationships you wanted to keep that would have stolen your peace. There are opportunities you cried over losing that would have distracted you from your true purpose. At the time, none of it made sense. It felt unfair. It felt painful. It felt like life was working against you. But time has a remarkable way of revealing what emotions could never understand. One day, you'll look back and realize that what felt like rejection was actually divine protection. The closed door was not your enemy, it was your guide. It redirected your steps when you couldn't see the road ahead. Not every delay is failure. Sometimes it's preparation. We live in a world that celebrates speed. Everyone wants instant success, instant recognition, instant results, instant answers. But the greatest things in life are rarely built overnight. A tree doesn't become strong in a single season. A mountain isn't formed in one day. Character is not developed in comfort. Wisdom isn't gained without experience. Life takes time because lasting things require time. Perhaps the reason you're waiting is because you're still becoming the person who can carry the blessing you've been asking for. Imagine receiving everything you wanted before you develop the maturity to protect it. Imagine achieving success before learning humility. Imagine gaining influence before building integrity. Some blessings arrive late because they are waiting for your character to catch up with your calling. Preparation is never punishment. Preparation is proof that something meaningful is being built within you. Life doesn't always reveal the reason immediately. That is one of the hardest lessons to accept. We want explanations, we want certainty, we want every chapter of our lives to make sense while we're living it. But life rarely works that way. Sometimes you only understand today's pain after tomorrow's breakthrough. Sometimes the lesson becomes clear only after the storm has passed. There will be moments when you ask, why? And silence will be the only answer. Don't mistake silence for abandonment. Sometimes silence is where your deepest growth begins. Sometimes the greatest work is happening beneath the surface, where your eyes cannot see it. Just because you cannot see progress doesn't mean progress isn't happening. Seeds grow in darkness before they ever break through the ground. The roots are growing long before anyone notices the tree. Your life is no different. Growth often happens in places invisible to everyone else. Sometimes you must walk by faith before you walk by sight. Faith is not pretending that problems don't exist. Faith is choosing to keep moving even when you cannot see the entire path. Faith says, I may not understand this season, but I refuse to stop walking. Faith says, I don't have all the answers, but I trust there is a purpose greater than my confusion. Anyone can believe when everything is going well. Real faith is revealed when life becomes uncertain, when prayers seem unanswered, when opportunities disappear, when plans fall apart, when the future feels unclear. That is when faith becomes more than words. It becomes your foundation. You don't need to know every step ahead. You only need enough courage to take the next one. There will be moments when nothing makes sense. Moments when your hard work seems unnoticed. Moments when people you trusted walk away. Moments when you lose something you thought you couldn't live without. Moments when you question whether all your effort has been worth it. These seasons can shake your confidence. They can test your patience. They can challenge everything you thought you knew. But difficult moments do not define your destiny. They simply become part of your journey. Every great story includes chapters that seem impossible to understand while they're being lived. Yet those same chapters often become the reason the ending is so powerful. Keep believing even when doubt whispers louder than confidence. Keep believing even when progress feels slow. Keep believing even when nobody else understands your vision. Your belief is not based on what you currently see. It is based on the possibility of what can still become. Believe in your purpose. Believe in your growth. Believe that every lesson is shaping someone stronger. Hope begins where certainty ends. Keep standing. Stand when life becomes difficult. Stand when criticism surrounds you. Stand when disappointment tries to pull you backward. Stand when your heart feels tired. Strength is not measured by how many times you avoid falling. Strength is measured by how many times you choose to rise again. Every time you stand after being knocked down, your character grows stronger. Every time you refuse to quit, your resilience becomes deeper. Stand with courage. Stand with dignity. Stand with faith. Keep trusting. Trust the process. Trust the lessons. Trust the growth that is taking place within you. Not everything meaningful happens immediately. Some victories take years to unfold. Some prayers are answered in ways you never expected. Some blessings arrive through doors you never imagined opening. Trust that what is meant for your life cannot be taken away by delay. Trust that every season has a purpose, even when you cannot yet identify it, because what feels like the end today may become the beginning you thank God for tomorrow. How many times have you looked back and realized that your greatest breakthrough began with your greatest disappointment? The job you didn't get led you to a better opportunity. The relationship that ended made room for healthier connections. The failure that embarrassed you taught lessons that success never could. The loss that broke your heart built the wisdom that now guides your life. At the time, you thought it was the end. Now you see it was only the beginning. One day you'll look back at today's struggle with gratitude instead of regret. You'll realize that every obstacle was positioning you for something greater. Never allow temporary confusion to destroy permanent purpose. Confusion is temporary. Pain is temporary. Disappointment is temporary. But purpose remains. Do not make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. Don't abandon your dream because of one difficult season. Don't question your value because of one rejection. Don't define your future by one setback. Storms pass, feelings change, circumstances improve. But the purpose placed within you deserves the chance to be fulfilled. Protect it, nurture it, refuse to let temporary uncertainty steal an eternal calling. Keep your faith stronger than your fear. Fear will always offer reasons to quit. Fear will focus on what might go wrong. Fear magnifies every obstacle until it appears impossible to overcome. Faith speaks differently. Faith reminds you of every challenge you've already survived. Faith reminds you that strength grows through adversity. Faith reminds you that tomorrow still holds possibilities you cannot see today. Choose faith again and again every single day. Because hope gives strength to keep moving when answers haven't arrived yet. Hope gives you the courage to wake up and try again. Hope reminds you that no season lasts forever. Hope whispers that the story is not finished. Hope reminds you that the road may be difficult, but it is not endless. As long as you keep walking with faith, purpose, and perseverance, every season, whether joyful or painful, will leave you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the life you were created to live. The world cannot control someone who has mastered their mind. Think about that for a moment. The greatest freedom you will ever experience is not found in money. It is not found in status. It is not found in applause. Real freedom begins the moment your peace is no longer controlled by circumstances. When your mind is disciplined, the opinions of others lose their power. When your spirit is grounded, temporary setbacks no longer define your future. When your purpose becomes greater than your comfort, life can shake you, but it cannot break you. The strongest people are not those who never face storms. They are the ones who learn how to stand while the storm is still raging. Anyone can smile when life is easy. Anyone can believe when everything is working in their favor. But true strength is revealed when everything around you is uncertain and yet you still choose to move forward. That kind of strength is built. It is earned. It is developed one difficult decision at a time. Criticism won't stop them. People will always have opinions. Some will misunderstand your vision. Some will question your decisions. Some will laugh at your dreams before they applaud your success. Do not build your life around the approval of people who have never walked your path. The louder your purpose becomes, the louder the critics may become. That is part of the journey. If you spend your life trying to silence every critic, You will never have enough energy to fulfill your purpose. Let people talk, let people doubt, let people underestimate you. Your responsibility is not to convince everyone. Your responsibility is to remain faithful to the work you have been called to do. One day, your results will speak louder than your explanations ever could. Failure won't destroy them. Failure is not your identity. Failure is an event. It is a lesson. It is feedback, nothing more. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history were built on foundations of repeated failure. Every mistake teaches something. Every setback reveals a weakness that can become a future strength. Do not fear failure. Fear refusing to learn from it. Fear allowing one difficult season to convince you that your story is over. The strongest people do not avoid failure. They use it, they study it, they grow because of it. And eventually, they become the kind of people failure can no longer intimidate. Delay won't discourage them. We all want progress. We all want answers. We all want to see immediate results. But life often works in seasons, not seconds. The farmer plants the seed and then waits. The builder lays one brick at a time. The athlete trains for years before standing on the biggest stage. Everything meaningful requires patience. Do not confuse delay with denial. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it never will. Some dreams require more preparation than others. Some victories take longer because they are meant to last longer. Trust the timing of your growth. Trust the process even when the progress feels invisible. They understand something most people never learn. Life is not trying to stop you. Life is trying to strengthen you. Every challenge carries a lesson. Every obstacle contains an opportunity. Every difficult season asks the same question. Who are you becoming? That question matters more than what are you achieving, because achievements can be taken away, character remains. Titles can disappear. Integrity remains. Successes may come and go, but the person you become through the journey stays with you forever. That is the real victory. Life doesn't reward excuses. Excuses feel comfortable. They protect your pride. They make failure seem acceptable. They give temporary relief, but they quietly steal your future. Every excuse delays your growth. Every excuse weakens your discipline. Every excuse convinces you that your circumstances have more power than your choices. Stop giving your excuses a permanent place in your life. Stop saying, I'll start when everything is perfect. Perfection never arrives. The right time is created through action. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take the next step. Life rewards endurance, not the fastest, not the loudest, not always the most talented. It rewards the people who refuse to quit, the people who continue when the excitement is gone, the people who remain committed when recognition disappears, the people who keep believing when the outcome is uncertain. Endurance is quiet, it is patient, it is determined. It wakes up every morning and says, I will try again. That simple decision, repeated enough times, changes everything. So build your character. Character is built in private long before it is recognized in public. It is built by doing the right thing when nobody is watching. It is built by telling the truth when lying would be easier. It is built by honoring your commitments when nobody would notice if you walked away. Character becomes the foundation upon which every lasting success is built. Protect your peace. The world is full of distractions. Arguments, negativity, comparison, noise. Do not allow every opinion to enter your mind. Not every battle deserves your attention. Not every insult deserves your response. Sometimes protecting your peace is the strongest decision you can make. Silence is often a sign of wisdom, not weakness. Choose carefully what deserves your energy. Guard your thoughts. Everything begins in the mind. Victory begins there. Defeat begins there. Hope begins there. Fear begins there. The thoughts you repeat eventually become the beliefs you live by. Replace thoughts of limitation with thoughts of possibility. Not self-doubt with disciplined action. Not fear with faith. Feed your mind with truth. Feed your heart with hope. Refuse to entertain thoughts that pull you away from your purpose. Feed your faith every day. Not only during easy seasons, especially during difficult ones. Faith reminds you that your current situation is not your final destination. Faith gives you the strength to keep walking when the road is unclear. Faith allows you to believe in tomorrow while working faithfully today. A strong spirit creates a strong life. Choose courage every single day. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite fear. Every meaningful achievement requires courage. The courage to begin, the courage to continue, the courage to fail, the courage to rise again. Courage grows every time you choose action over hesitation. Stand tall when others panic. The world needs people who remain steady during uncertainty. When everyone else is overwhelmed by fear, be the person who brings calm. When others lose hope, become a source of encouragement. Strength is contagious, so is fear. Choose to spread courage. Stay calm when others complain. Complaining has never solved a problem. Calm minds find solutions. Calm hearts make wise decisions. Calm people inspire confidence. Do not allow temporary chaos to steal your permanent peace. Respond with wisdom instead of emotion. Think before you act. Listen before you speak. Trust before you panic. Keep moving when others quit. Many people stop one step before the breakthrough. They become tired, discouraged, impatient. They convince themselves that all their effort has been wasted. But success often waits just beyond the moment most people decide to give up. Take one more step, make one more attempt, pray one more prayer, believe one more time. Because persistence has a way of opening doors that talent alone never can. Every step forward strengthens your character. Every challenge overcome expands your confidence. Every difficult season prepares you for greater responsibility. Never underestimate the power of refusing to quit, because every challenge you overcome is shaping a version of yourself that is wiser, because you've learned lessons that comfort could never teach. Stronger because you've carried burdens that once seemed impossible. More disciplined because you've chosen consistency over convenience, purpose over excuses, and growth over comfort. And impossible to break, not because life will stop testing you, but because every test has built a mind that refuses to surrender, a heart that refuses to lose hope, and a spirit that knows no matter how fierce the storm becomes, you have already become stronger than the challenges standing before you.